General Hospital spoilers. Robin suddenly appears at Monica's funeral, revealing a shocking secret to Jason. The Quartermaine estate had never been so silent. The passing of Monica Quartermaine marked the end of an era in Port Charles. The matriarch who held the family together through scandal, betrayal, tragedy, and redemption was gone, leaving a gaping void. Mourners filled the mansion's grand parlor, draped in black silk and heavy with flowers. Jason Morgan stood near the front, his stoic expression barely concealing the turmoil inside. He had already lost so much: his father Alan, his wife Sam, his years with his children, and now his adoptive mother was gone, too. Tracy hovered like a hawk, snapping at staff and family alike, her sharp tongue a mask for the raw grief she felt. Ned and Brooklyn clung to each other, while Olivia prayed quietly in a corner. Even Michael, once estranged from the family, stood solemnly, holding Willow's hand. But it was Jason's presence that weighed on everyone. For decades, Monica had fought to remain a part of his life, even when he turned his back on the Quartermaine name. She never gave up on him. Now, he was left wondering if he had done enough to show her what she meant to him. As the minister began to speak, the heavy oak doors creaked open. Heads turned. Gasps spread through the crowd. Robin Scorpio Drake, long absent from Port Charles, walked in. Robin hadn't been seen in years. Many assumed she had returned to her life in Paris with Patrick and their children, far removed from the chaos of Port Charles. But now, dressed in black and with her face drawn tight with emotion, she made her presence known. Jason's eyes locked on her instantly. Their shared history ran deep. Robin was the first woman he had loved after his accident, the one who had accepted Jason Morgan when everyone else tried to pull Jason Quartermaine back from the grave. Their bond had been unshakable until choices and betrayals tore them apart. Still, seeing her again stirred something in Jason. "Robin," Tracy whispered, narrowing her eyes. "Well, isn't this a surprise?" But it was more than a surprise. Robin wasn't just there to pay her respects. She carried herself with a heavy purpose, as though her very presence was the prelude to something explosive. After the funeral service, mourners mingled in the Quartermaine living room. Glasses clinked, quiet conversations filled the air, and the old piano stood untouched, too sorrowful a reminder of the family's legacy. Jason moved through the crowd until he found Robin standing alone near the fireplace, staring at a portrait of Monica. "She would have wanted you here," Jason said quietly. Robin turned to him, her eyes glassy but strong. "I couldn't stay away. Monica was a second mother to me, Jason. She gave me shelter, comfort, love, and advice when I needed it most. I had to say goodbye." Jason nodded. But he knew Robin. Her presence wasn't just about Monica. Something weighed on her, something she wasn't saying. "What is it?" he asked. Robin hesitated, her lips parting as though words threatened to escape, but her courage faltered. Finally, she whispered, "Jason, there's something you need to know. Something Monica wanted me to tell you, if she never got the chance." Jason stiffened. Monica had carried many secrets over the years: affairs, hidden children, medical cover-ups. But what secret could possibly involve Robin? Robin took a deep breath. "It's about your past. About who you really are." Jason's jaw tightened. He had already been through identity crises, learning he was Jason Quartermaine, only to reject that name and live as Jason Morgan. He'd dealt with mistaken deaths, twin brothers, and brainwashing. What else could possibly be hidden? Robin continued, "Before you were shot in 1995, before you became Jason Morgan, there was something Monica never told you. Something she thought would protect you. But it haunted her until the day she died. She told me if she couldn't, I had to be the one." Jason's voice was low, demanding, "Tell me." Robin's eyes filled with tears. "You're not just Alan and Monica's adopted son. There's another blood connection, one that changes everything." The room felt smaller, the air heavier. Jason's world was about to shift again. Robin steadied herself. "Jason, Monica knew the truth years ago. You weren't adopted in the way you think. Alan was your father, yes. But Monica, she wasn't your mother. Not biologically." Jason's eyes widened. "What?" Robin nodded, her voice breaking. Your biological mother was a patient Monica treated, a woman involved with Alan before she came back to him. She gave birth, but she couldn't raise you. Monica stepped in, claimed you as hers, and raised you as her son. She wanted to protect you from scandal, from the truth. She loved you like her own, but she wasn't the one who gave birth to you. Jason staggered back, memories flashing. Monica's unwavering love, her insistence that he was always her son no matter what. Was it guilt? Was it an unspoken truth she carried all these years? Who? Jason demanded. His voice was sharp now, desperate. Who was she? Robin hesitated again, and then whispered the name that shattered everything. It was Susan Moore. The revelation ripped through Jason like a bullet. Susan Moore. The woman who had given birth to AJ's half-brother, Drew Kane. The woman connected to one of the most tragic and twisted chapters of the Quartermaine family. If Robin was telling the truth, Jason and Drew weren't just brothers by adoption. They were biological brothers. And Monica had known all along. Jason's mind spun. Every fight, every reconciliation, every painful moment with Monica suddenly carried a different weight. She had carried this truth silently, loving him fiercely while never confessing that her claim of motherhood had been a lie. She raised you, Robin said softly. That's what she wanted you to remember. Blood didn't matter to her. Love did. But she couldn't let you die without the truth coming out. That's why she asked me to tell you. Jason's fists clenched, his face unreadable. He felt betrayed, heartbroken, but also strangely vindicated. For years, he had lived in two worlds, Quartermaine by birth, Morgan by choice. Now, he understood why he had always felt torn. The fallout was immediate. Tracy overheard part of the conversation and nearly fainted. So Monica lied to us all these years? She hissed. Typical. Even in death, she finds a way to cause chaos. Michael was stunned. Wait, so Dad and Jason were brothers by adoption and blood? This changes everything. Drew, who had arrived late to the gathering, stood frozen as Jason relayed the truth to him. So Susan Moore, she gave birth to both of us? That makes us real brothers. The two men locked eyes. Their history was complicated, full of mistrust, rivalry, and resentment. But beneath it all, there was always something unexplainable tying them together. Now they knew why. Later, Jason found Robin in the garden, away from the noise of a wake. The autumn leaves swirled around them, the world shifting with the weight of revelation. You should have told me sooner, Jason said, his voice cold. Robin shook her head. I couldn't. Monica made me promise not to. She wanted to be the one. Jason, I only came back because she begged me before she passed. Jason's anger softened, though his pain remained. You were always the one who told me the truth, even when it hurt. I don't know if I can forgive Monica, but I understand why she wanted me to hear it from you. Robin's eyes shimmered with unshed tears. I'll always care about you, Jason. Even after everything. That's never changed. The tension between them lingered. Old love, unresolved regrets, and now, this shocking secret binding them in a way no one else could understand. The revelation reshaped the Quartermaine family tree. Jason wasn't just Monica's adopted son anymore. He was Alan's true heir, Susan Moore's child, and Drew's full brother. Tracy saw it as another threat to her control of the family fortune. Ned worried about YLQ implications. Michael wondered how this would affect his place in the family. And Drew finally felt a connection he had long craved. But for Jason, none of that mattered. What haunted him was Monica's choice. She had loved him enough to claim him, to fight for him, to raise him as her own. But she had also lied, carrying a secret that changed everything about his identity. As the night drew to a close, Jason stood alone in Monica's study, staring at the framed photo of her on the mantel. Why didn't you tell me yourself? He whispered. Behind him, Robin entered quietly. Because she was afraid of losing you, just like I was once. Jason turned, his blue eyes piercing through the pain. Everything I thought I knew is gone. And now, I don't know who I am anymore. Robin touched his arm gently. You're Jason. You've always been Jason. That's all Monica wanted you to remember. But even as she said the words, Jason knew the story wasn't over. The truth about his parentage would ripple through Port Charles, sparking new rivalries, reunions, and betrayals. And Robin's return, so sudden, so mysterious, hinted that she wasn't done. She had more to reveal. Something even darker. Something Monica had never dared to put into words.